Good morning, cyber friends. This is Minnie Man coming at you again from Walker's Musical Yet. Another word for the day. We want to say, first of all, we give God all the glory and the praise and honor, just as usual. We dare not take any glory from God. And we thank Him also for each and every one of you, cyber friends. You know who you are. We just want to say, as you see the title of the video this morning, y'all, this is the first Sunday in February 7th. And matter of fact, this is a big day for all your football fans. It's a great big day with Super Bowl 50. Super Bowl 50. And I want to say that I feel very, very privileged and honored, and I'm blessed today because I've been here every one of them. Matter of fact, the first Super Bowl they had was I believe it was in February of 1966, if I'm not mistaken. I was only 5 years old, and I was I was 5. I was going on 5 that year because I was born in '61, so I was going on 5 years old the year they had the first Super Bowl. And matter of fact, I'm 4 years older than the Super Bowl, so I really kind of a privilege and an honor and a blessing to still be here to say that I've seen all 50 of the Super Bowls. And I won't dare say, a lot of people think that everything's got to be religious. People, let me tell you something. Everything is not religious. I know a lot of us people that's in church and quote unquote, we are so above everybody else in the world. In other words, but matter of fact, you need to look at the life of Jesus. In other words, Jesus was a very fun, outgoing person. If you notice that he was invited to all the parties, and if he had not been fun and outgoing, no one. And look at who invited him. It was the sinners. It wasn't church folk. So that means Jesus wasn't no stuck in the mud person. But at any rate, I didn't come to argue about no religion. First of all, because I don't argue about scripture anyway. But I did come here to speak a little bit about some things that I don't have time this morning. I'm not going to do a whole lot of long video, but I want to speak about the Crossroads. Now, this is, I'm quite sure a lot of you that, especially musicians, you have heard of the legend of the Crossroads. Give you a little synopsis, the overview. Synopsis of the Crossroads was the idea of that one of the famous guitar players of our time, of the 20th century, named was Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson was considered one of the best guitar players that ever lived. And it's a lot of guitar players today, and past and present, that really learned their craft pattern after Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson, the legend says that he made a deal with the devil at the Crossroads in the delta of the Mississippi Delta. That's what, now you got to do a little history research on that to understand what I'm talking about. But at any rate, it is the legend that said that he made a deal with the devil. Well, what Minnie Man talking about to all of us this morning? I'm saying, people, that I do not dismiss that, even though I don't know this to be true, but the only thing I'm saying is a legend that said that it did happen, that he actually made a deal with the devil for his abilities to play that guitar the way he did. Well, I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I'm not going to say it happened because I don't know. But I'm going to say this one thing. I'm not going to say it didn't happen or not possible that it did happen, because look, if you notice, Satan offered Jesus the same thing. Don't you remember? Read Matthew. In other words, when Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, after his baptism at Jordan River, he went into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And if you notice, what did the devil offer Jesus? He said he showed him all the kingdoms of the world and all the power and the glory and the honor that went with him. He said, I'll give it to you if you just what? Fall down and worship and do me homage. So you see, don't say that these things could not happen, because Satan offered it to Jesus. And guess what? If he offered it to Jesus, he offered it to you and me. So I don't say that these things didn't happen, but I'm just saying, before I go and accuse people of making deals with the devil, you need to know what you're talking about. Because let me tell you something, people. Everything is not religious. I mean, come on now. Come on, people. We cannot. Look, We love our Lord. Only thing we can do is honor him with our lives. In other words, now, okay, let's say, take for instance today, Super Bowl 50. We said that's secular. Well, do you really know what secular means? I mean, one of the definitions of secular, it just said is non-religious. Well, just because something is non-religious, that don't make it be of the devil. Super Bowl, playing a football game, that's non-religious, but is it of the devil? See, we got to be careful, people, how we pretend to judge and everybody because of some things that they like. Now, what I mean is, just because you may not like football, or you may not like basketball, don't judge everybody else that do. You got some things that you like to do just as well. It may not be football. It might be basketball. It may not be basketball, but it may be archery. All of these things and activities that we have, they are secular in nature because they are non-religious. But that don't make them be of the devil. Everything is not of the devil, people, just because of the fact that it is not something that fits in your category. You know, some of us done got too religious that we are no good to nobody on this planet. We're no good because we're too religious. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. Let your light shine. That's what Jesus said do. But you know what? He didn't tell you that you was a judge of nobody. So in other words, just because I'm not going to go to the football game today, just because I'm not going to go to any of the football, Super Bowl, quote-unquote parties, that doesn't mean that I can sit here and judge people that will go. Everybody that going to the Super Bowl is not going to act crazy. They're not going to do. They're going to enjoy the game because they love the game. And I'm not saying, people, that everything we do that's non-religious is all right either. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that this Crossroads was this was a legend that said that these are where the people went in order to get favor with the world and to be famous. They made deals with the devil. And you know what? I do believe that. I do believe that we can do that because, like I said, I read it in the Word where Satan offered it to Jesus himself. But everybody, just because of the fact that they are successful, everybody not serving the devil, people. It's because God gave them talent. Just this past week, we had another death of a famous musician, and I'm quite sure all of you done heard about it, Maurice White, and the famous band leader of the Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I know the first thing a lot of people are going to say about that. I already know it's coming. I already know what's coming. But you got to understand something, people. God gave all talent and gifts. All of them come from God. Now, we may not use it to give it back to God. Like I said, we can automatically, all of us, you know what? Everybody is singing gospel, not following Christ. You got to remember that before you said, you know, these people are of the devil and they was worshiping devil and that the devil gave them their fame and fortune. You got to remember something, that everybody that's saying Jesus keeping near the cross not following Christ either. You know, you got a lot of them not following Christ. So, you know, that's not saying too much. But what we need to do, and I got to end this video, what I'm saying is that what we need to do is this is what I try to do. I try not to judge anyone, but I love talent. I'm a musician. I love music. I love music, period. I love music, period. People, Jesus said, let your light shine. He didn't tell you to be a judge, but he said, let your light shine. In other words, I look at the life of Jesus and where he was invited to every party. All the sinners loved Jesus. That should tell us something. Do sinners love you? Ask ourselves that question. Do sinners love you the way they love Jesus? Ask yourself a question. And if they do not love you the way they love Jesus, go back and check yourself. See, are you really Christ follower? Are you really portraying Christ and letting your light shine as he said, and being a light to the world, to a dying world? If the sinners don't love you, something might be wrong. I'm just saying. Check yourself. This is Minnie Man saying whatever you get into. If God's not in it, please come out of it. And we want to say to everyone that today you enjoy yourselves. In other words, glorify God in everything you do. That's a song that we used to sing. One of my instructors, Dr. Stan Pelter, he wrote a song. He wrote a musical drama years ago when I was in college. It's called Timothy. And one of the songs that he wrote that's inside of that musical was it said, "Let Jesus Christ." One of the lines in one of the songs said, "Let Jesus Christ shine forth in all you do." In other words, don't give up. In other words, stand up tall, but let Jesus Christ shine forth in all you do. What did that mean? In everything, give God the glory. Let God shine through. Whether you be at the Super Bowl 50 or Super Bowl 90, whether you sing this or sing that, whether you sing Jesus keep me near the cross or that's the way of the world, make certain that you let Jesus shine forth in all you do. Be true to him. And don't worry about man, because man, he got nowhere to put you. This is Many Man saying peace. Till the next Bible study, next video, whichever comes first. Peace. Goodbye.